A very good evening, afternoon, morning, or night to you guys, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to another live stream on Wednesday night. So today we have a special topic that I would like to talk about. So yeah, we already have quite a few people in the chat. So welcome, guys. Obviously, feel free to ask whatever questions you have. I'm going to share the live stream to a couple of groups as well, because I'm also streaming it on Facebook. So, if you're watching it on Facebook, feel free to jump over to YouTube. And yeah, so like I said, let me just share this to a couple of groups, and people can join in and they can watch it. All right, then. That should be enough. Yeah, that should be enough. That's about 10 different groups. So that should be plenty. Anyway, guys, welcome to the stream. Like I said, today we are going to talk about, is China really safe? So many people ask this question, is China a safe country? And, there are plenty of answers for this question. So I'm going to, dip into different areas of safety. So, we're going to talk about like general safety, like pickpocketing and all of these things. And, environmental safety as well. That's another important thing in China. So like air pollution, floods, and all of these things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Obviously, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, ask a question regarding the topic or, regarding China. I'm very happy to answer. We already have quite a few people in the chat. For example, we have China Bill. How you doing, Bill? Hope you're okay, mate. Let me just put the branding up there. There you go. Awesome. So yeah, we have China Bill, another YouTuber. He's making some awesome videos. So if you guys are not familiar with Bill, go and check out his channel. He is, just an average Chinese guy, and he shows China from his perspective. So yeah, go over to his channel and check it. Now let's have a look. Who else do we have here? It's not 100% fact, but it could be true. So this was something that we talked about during the build-up. We were talking about, other China YouTubers, and somebody brought it up that, Guilao might be, touching little kids and all that sort of stuff. And, my response to this is that, unless there is concrete evidence, I don't believe it. And, I believe Guilao and what he says, if he said anything about this, but I don't think he ever said anything regarding this topic. So yeah, I mean, that is something very serious, and you shouldn't accuse someone of doing something like that without actual evidence. Word of mouth is not evidence for me. And we have someone from Hungary as well. This person is from my Facebook, surely. All right. Very good. Definitely not safe for Wumaos. Yes, probably China is not a safe place if you're a Wumao. Anyway, let's jump into today's topic, which is, like I said, safety in China, and is China really that safe? So let's start with the obvious one, and traveling in China, is that safe? Can you feel safe, and are you safe in China if you're traveling? Oh, by the way, tonight's beer, again, Qingdao, China's #1 beer, most popular beer in China by far, in my opinion. So yeah, and like I said, during the build-up, I actually have a kolo mian here, some Chinese street food. So later on, I will dig into that as well, so you guys can have a look. Anyway, so let's talk about safety in China if you're traveling. So China generally is a very safe country if you're a tourist and if you're traveling within China. Obviously, you can't travel right now because of the coronavirus pandemic, but once the borders are open and all of these things are done, coming back into China and traveling here is totally fine. Like, you're not going to have any issues traveling within China. Obviously, common sense is something that you require when you are here. So, watch out for pickpockets and people trying to lure you into tea houses and all of these places, because that is like basically originated in China to get foreigners into these tea houses and make them pay like ridiculous amounts for tea ceremonies. So that is something that originated in China, basically. So I can definitely warn you about this. That is a thing in China. So if you come here and people come up to you on the streets in like Beijing, Shanghai, or Guangzhou, or anywhere in China, basically, and they ask you, oh, do you want to try a legit Chinese tea ceremony? And 99% of the time, just say no, because that's an obvious scam. The way it works is they take you into the tea house, and they will order like something very simple, and they do the whole ceremony thing, so it looks legit. But by the end of it, they bring out a bill for like 1,000 RMB or 2,000 RMB or something ridiculous like that. And tea ceremonies are not very expensive in China, and they try to catch and trap these foreigners that are like day one in China, so they don't really know what's going on. All right, then a few more people commented here, so let's bring up some comments. I guess Chinese night is more safer than a Friday night in Budapest. That is something that I will definitely talk about later on. Short answer is yes, absolutely. Why would anyone want to go to China? Plenty of reasons. I've made a 3 reasons why you should come to China video. So if you're not familiar with that one, after the live stream, hop over to my channel, check it out, because it is very useful. And, it can give you some sort of a knowledge and a better understanding why you should come to China. Sword X vlog, sorry. So this is a Hungarian person, because he just said "sia," and in Hungarian that means like hello. Haley, my all-time supporter. She's always there at my videos. Dude, did that scam ever happen to you? Never, but I've had plenty of people, trying to get me into these tea houses, and I always turn them down. Mostly because I watched videos before I came to China. So I watched Serpent Zadeh's video about possible scams in like Beijing and these tea houses and black taxi scams and all of these things. So I was very much aware of the downside of China before I came here. Obviously, I was still like naive, but I knew the basics. So yeah, I told her to. It's okay. Okay, there you go. Fair enough. I have been scammed both in China and the US. So you've been to the US, Bill. That's awesome. I'm trying to think if I ever got scammed in China. I think I got scammed with a backpack that I bought and a T-shirt as well at the fake markets in Beijing. That was during week 1. So, I was hanging out with other foreigners because we were doing the training for the school that we worked for. And it was actually our day off. And we went to this fake market to have a look at the fake Beats, the fake Rolexes, the fake Panorais, and the fake Louis Vuitton bags and all of these things. And, I wanted to get a new backpack, because as I was coming through Russia into China, my connecting flight, they messed up my backpack, so it got ripped in half basically, and I had to get these like plastic things to hold it together, and that didn't look too cool. So I was planning to get a new backpack anyway, but I've paid about 250 RMB. I mean, the lady started at 1,000, and I was like, well, that's a bit too much. So yeah. That's what happened, and I managed to haggle it down to 250, and turns out that's still very expensive, because like 6 months later in Jilin, when I went to the fake markets, I managed to get a backpack for 35 RMB. So that should be the normal price for a backpack in China if you go to a fake markets, in my opinion. So yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate. And same with the t-shirts. I paid 100 RMB for what was on the t-shirt? I can't actually remember now. Oh yeah, it was saying like, you know, Beijing on the top, and there was like a picture of the city, and I paid 100 RMB. I was supposed to pay 500. She asked for 500 RMB, and you know, I managed to get it down to 100, and I was like, yay! I'm so good at, you know, bargaining in China. And it turns out, you know, those t-shirts you can probably buy it for like 10 RMB. So yeah. You get scammed in China every time you go to the market to buy something, if you're a Lawai, that is. I think the chances of getting scammed as a foreigner in China is definitely higher. So they wouldn't try these tricks on Chinese people. So so yeah, I mean, I have to agree with this one. All right, let's read the Hungarian comments. De jó lenne nekem is így megtanulni angolul beszélni. Megértem nagyjából, amit mondanak az emberek, de a kiejtésemmel vannak gondok. Bárcsak 14 éves vagyok, szóval van még időm. Hát figyelj ide, én kiköltöztem Angliába, amikor 13 éves voltam, de előtte már ugye tanultam angolt, és hát igazából Angliába tanultam meg anyanyelvi szinten beszélni. Kínába ugye meg a mandarint, meg a kínait beszélem, ugye, úgyhogy most azt tanulom. Ha elfogadsz egy tanácsot, akkor csak azt tudom mondani, hogy YouTube-on több angol nyelvű videót néz, illetve filmeket is próbáld meg angolul nézni, mert az nagyon sokat segít. Sorry there, guys. So basically, I was just telling this person here because he said that he really wants to speak English like, you know, how I can speak English. And basically, I just, you know, quickly explained it to him, like, you know, what's my story with learning English and speaking English. All right, I'm a girl. I don't get scammed in China. Well, actually, in Shanghai, they try to get me to buy fake designer bags. Absolutely, that happens all the time. And, you know, they try to do the same thing to me as well. And they try to do it with, like, you know, the fake watches as well, like fake Panerais and fake Rolexes. Hey there, guys. Sorry, I'm back. I've just realized I didn't do my my internet thing. I have like an app where I can, you know, set up the speed for the internet, so I forgot to do it. So that's why it's a little bit, you know, choppy, and that's why it dropped off. So let me just a couple of things. I mean, obviously I have VPN on. So Haley's comment was, I'm a girl, I don't get scammed in China. Well, actually in Shanghai, they tried to get me to buy fake designer bags. So I don't know if my response got through, but let me just repeat myself quickly. So same thing happened to me. They tried to get me to buy like fake Rolexes, fake Panerais, and fake like Patek Philips. Obviously, I didn't fall for it because they were saying like ridiculous prices, like, you know, 4,000 RMB for a fake Rolex that you can get for like 200 basically. So yeah, I never fell for that. But you know, you just need to walk around and you know what you're getting yourself into. So yeah. Online shopping is way more affordable. Yes, online shopping is very popular in China, and you know, the Chinese eBay Taobao is very popular, and you can get literally anything from it. So the other day I ordered a microcomputer. So this is a computer here. It's called a Raspberry Pi Zero. So this is for like, educational purposes and all that sort of stuff. So I ordered this from Taobao, and it took me like 2 days to get it. So it was super good. I'm super satisfied with it. This is actually in a plastic or see-through case. So this is not, standard, but it's super cool. Using that speed booster, I see. Absolutely. I'm so happy that, Angelo shared his secret with us. And, you can see that my stream is like super fast. I get all the messages and I can talk to everyone. It's so good, man. I'm so like happy about it. So shout out to Angelo for sorting out my internet. All right, then. So we talked about travel safety in China, and like I said, it is generally a safe country, so you shouldn't be afraid, walking around by yourself. Obviously, use common sense, so don't go into places with people that you don't know, for example, unless they are other expats. Then it's kind of okay. But if a Chinese person approaches you on the street with very good English, you should be suspicious, because those people are just looking for foreigners, and they're looking to take their money. So that is something that you should look out for and be careful about. Now let's talk about other safety aspects in China. So traffic in China, and how safe is it to travel in China and use a motorbike or use a car or a bicycle or an electric scooter or get onto the trains and all of these things. So as you guys know, I'm driving a car in China, and I mentioned it in some of my videos that Chinese drivers are not very good, and I still want to stand by this point, and I want to voice this opinion. Chinese drivers are not very good. Majority of them are not very good. There is a minority that are good drivers, and they can try to drive in other countries. But in China, the driving culture is very, very, very different. It's a very aggressive way of driving in China, and it took me some time to get used to it. So personally, I don't mind the aggressive driving. What I mind is the danger that some of these drivers can bring to you. And I mentioned it before that I can see accidents almost every single day, and not just one or two, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 accidents a day. And I don't spend all my time outside, driving around and walking around. But within like a short time frame, like we're talking like 2 hours, I can see at least 5 different accidents. And they are not major accidents, so it's not someone flipped a car and they are dying on the side of the road. It's small bumps into each other, because they are so aggressive, and they have this mindset in China when they are driving that the person that gets there first has the right of way. And because of that, there are so many like these little like bumpy accidents in China that you cannot ignore it, and that is something that you will definitely see in China if you come here. So that is I wouldn't say it's a safety issue, but you should definitely look out for this, and you should definitely expect it. So I've been in China for a little bit over 3 years now, and I haven't had an accident in China just yet. So I never hit any cars. Nobody ever hit me. So far, I'm really lucky. But I know that sooner or later, someone is going to crash into me. I know for a fact that it's going to happen because of the driving culture here. And am I scared about it? Do I fear for my life? Not really. I mean, I am kind of expecting it to happen. And I already have this like storyline and scenario in my head, like what's going to happen, because I watched so many videos and I asked so many Chinese people, like, what's going to happen if somebody crashes into me? What do I need to do? So I know the procedure, but I don't actually know what the accident is going to be just yet. So that's a little bit scary, but it should be okay. So probably it's going to make it into a video if it happens. All right, let's read some comments. Speaking of online shopping, it's common for Chinese to go into clothing stores, fit themselves in clothes they like, then look for the same item online at a discount. Absolutely, Michael. That is a very, very good point. And I've experienced this before with my wife. So we went to, a sports store, for example, or we went to just any other clothes store. We went to Li-Ning, for example. And that's how I got some of my Zhongguo Li-Ning t-shirts, because we went there, tried it on, and the next day or the same day as we were leaving the shop, she ordered it on Taobao or any other like this online online shopping place, and it is much cheaper there. And sometimes the official shop sells it cheaper as well. So for example, we went into Li-Ning and the t-shirt was like 200 RMB, but online there was like a 50% discount on it, so it was only 100. So it is definitely a good idea to shop around, especially if you can get the same thing online, because the delivery time in China is so short. For example, the Raspberry Pi, the little mini computer that I showed you earlier, I got it in 2 days, and that was coming all the way from the south of China, so like Guangzhou area. That's where it was coming from, and I live like very far up north, like Jilin province, and they got here in 2 days. So that's amazing. So it is definitely worth shopping around. And my Hungarian friend is gone. So he was just basically saying thank you for the advice on how to learn English and all that. That I'm going to have to approach you with very good English, even though I don't even live in China. Possibly. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it is suspicious when people come up to you and they have like really good English in China, and they are Chinese. I mean, for foreigners, that's normal that a foreigner comes up to you and they speak English to you. But if a Chinese person comes up to you on the street and they start speaking, really good English to you, in any kind of setting, that is a little bit alarming, in my opinion. Most of the time they just talk to you because they want to get a picture with you, or they want to just speak a little bit of English. But if their English is like really, 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 really good, and they start talking to you like, oh, where are you from? What are you doing here? And they are jumping into these questions immediately, that should ring a bell. Like that's definitely a red flag. I've nearly been hit by a scooter going down the road in the opposite direction. Yes, that is very common in China, that, Waimai and Olama and all of these delivery drivers and just random aunties and uncles, they are going on the wrong side of the road with their scooters and e-bikes and all of these things. So that is definitely something that you should look out for, because it is very dangerous. And, because I lived most of my life in England, I know that, they are driving on the other side of the road, so I need to look the other side first. And because of that, I was actually really lucky sometimes in China, because, at the beginning, I wasn't expecting that people would come on the wrong side of the road. But because I lived in England and everybody drives on the other side of the road, I look to the wrong side first sometimes, if that makes any sense. And it's the same in Australia, basically. So, you guys drive on the other side of the road. So naturally, when you are in China or America or Europe, for example, when you're crossing the road, most of the time you look in the wrong way. And that's what happened to me in China as well. But now I'm actually looking the right way. And, I'm actually looking both ways, because like you said, it's unpredictable. All right, then let me refill. So like I said, Qingdao, tonight's stream sponsor is Qingdao for 5.5 yuan. So 5 and the Wumao. There you go. Anyway, let's have a look at other things regarding traffic in China, because that is something that not a lot of people like to talk about, or they don't know too much about it. So, for example, in England, roundabouts are very popular, and you know, that's the common way of breaking up an intersection or a junction, whatever you call it, and you know, in China, they have a few roundabouts. In Jilin, for example, in my city, we have a few roundabouts, but nobody really knows how to drive in a roundabout. So most of the time in England, you know, roundabouts, they have 2 lanes. There's an inside lane and then there's an outside lane. And in China, they make it even bigger, because everything is bigger in China. So sometimes they have like 3, 4, or 5 lanes. But nobody uses the inside lane, the very near one, the one that is closest to the middle. And you know, the driving etiquette regarding roundabouts in China is something non-existent. So I've learned how to really drive in a roundabout in England, because there are so many roundabouts in England, and you know, you really get the hang of it, because everybody is very polite in England. Well, not everybody, okay? Most drivers are very polite, and when it comes to like roundabouts and all of those things, everybody is, you know, patient, and they are trying to be polite, and they are trying to let you in and let you out as well. So yeah, generally speaking, you know, driving in a roundabout in China is a little bit scary and a little bit dangerous as well, because people on the outside lane, the furthest one from the middle, those people, sometimes they just go around the roundabout, which is a big no-no in England. Like, you try to do that, and there's like a big lorry on the inside, they're just going to smash into you, you're done, you're finished, you're going to get scrapped with the car, basically. But in China, that's what everybody does. So even if they want to go around the roundabout and do a full 360 around, they still be on the outside lane. So, you know, they don't really know how a roundabout works in China. And that's about 99% of the drivers. I tried to explain it to my wife as well. And, you know, she just basically told me it's whoever gets there first has the right of way. And that's how it is in China. So that's basically a rule number 1 when it comes to driving in China. Whoever gets there first has the right of way. I was confused when I was driving in China and the guy flagged me down. I asked him what his name is, and he said, what? Okay. Yes, I live next to a roundabout of death, like 4 lanes. You play the chicken every time you cross the road. Yeah, I mean, you know, I never tried to cross a roundabout in China. That's like Russian roulette there. Like, I would never do that. Even in my own car, you know, I'm still a little bit scared going into a roundabout. And you know, I actually look both ways. Like, if people are coming into the roundabout from the wrong way, because what Haley said earlier, that you know, she almost got hit by a scooter going down the wrong side of the road. You never know in China. You never know, because driving is such a new thing here that, you know, not a lot of people know the driving etiquette and what's okay to do and what's not okay to do. Zach, where are you from? So I was born in Hungary, and I moved to England when I was 13, and I've been living in England since I was 13, and I moved to China in 2017. Since tonight's topic is China safe, I would like to mention a channel by CU Production. It features videos about the more dark side of crime in China. Yeah, so, you know, gangs and drug smuggling and all of these like criminal activities, they are present in China. But obviously the media is not going to report all of it. That's one thing. And the other thing is, it is actually a lot safer here when it comes to that. So, most likely you're not going to get stabbed or mugged going down the street at like 2 in the morning. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. Like, most likely that's not going to happen to you. So, yeah, I will definitely check that one out and, see what I can gather from it. All right, there is a Chinese comment here, and that's basically a dialogue as far as I can see. Hold on, I need to translate some parts of it because I am not so sure what it says, and I don't want to sound stupid on this live stream. So give me 2 seconds. Let me just translate this because I don't want to ignore any questions or anything like that. Let's have a look. What do we have here? Oh, so it's about marriage. Sorry, like I didn't know the second part. Well, the first part of the question, but if you translate into English, it's the second part. Yeah. So it basically says that, Dad, how much does it cost to get married? And the dad says, son, I don't know. I am still paying. So it's kind of Chinese, like it's a Chinese thing. Like it's a bit hard to translate it into English, but we have China Bill. So Bill, you can try to explain it in English what it really means. All right. Another one. Is that easy for foreigners to renew their visa to stay in China? For me, it is super easy. Jilin is a small city, and the government and all of these things, it's they're very, very nice to foreigners in here. So they don't have that many here. Four and four practice war server on. So that's another guy from Hungary. And we used to play Call of Duty and all of these games online. So, yeah, awesome. I can explain it. Explain it, Bill. Like I said, please explain it. I should totally use Trump's voice in the last video to be a little more entertaining. Also, that's the conversation between you and Haley about the video. Yeah, Haley warned me about this. What was it, last week, Haley? I think you messaged me last week and you told me that I shouldn't interfere with your conversations in the chat. So I'm going to stay out of it. You can talk to Bill yourself. Anyway, let's go back to the safety thing in China. So the largest safety risks in China are road traffic accidents, basically. Then it comes like tourism related, health issues, and all of these things. So next one is environmental and like weather safety in China. And air pollution is a problem in China, but this year, we had it very easy, and it was actually really nice. And if you watch my videos and you look at the sky in the background behind me and some of my videos, you can see that, most of the time it's blue skies and, sunshine and all those things, and there's very little pollution. Sometimes in my drone shots, you can see that there's pollution, but most of the time it comes from the desert. It's a bit far from Jilin, but, the wind brings all the sand and everything like that here. So right now, the only pollution that we are getting is coming from the desert. I don't think most factories are like fully functioning and they are fully operating just yet. So it's still going to take, a few months until they can pick up the pace and, start doing 100%. There you go. It basically means that marriage in China is too expensive. It is. In China, the culture and the norm when it comes to marriage is that the man pays for most things, and the man should have a house, a car, and a future for the wife and all of those things. But hopefully, it's going to change in the future because more and more people can't get married because they don't have the money and they don't have a house, they don't have a car to provide, and so many people from like the countrysides, they can't get married with the girl that they want to get married, or the girl that they like, because their parents don't approve of it, and all of these things. Environmental and weather in China, don't get me started. Okay, so disclaimer, this year is it was pretty good when it comes to like environment and pollution and all those things, mostly because of the coronavirus. And that's one of the main reasons why the environment and the air is actually like pretty okay right now in China. So other than that, it can get really, really crap. Like last year, we had like 3 days when the air was really bad, and that was during like the middle of summer, and there was like a sandstorm coming through. Then obviously all the factories were fully like operating and all those things. So we had like 3 like really like shitty days, and yeah, that wasn't good. Like I was actually considering like wearing a mask at some point, but I was like, I'm just gonna leg it. Obviously, you can feel it when you're outside and you're breathing that dirty air in, and in your throat and in your nose, this crap builds up, and when you blow your nose, like it's all either like black or gray or yellow or green or all of these like disgusting things. So yeah, it's terrible. Like air pollution is terrible in China when it really hits your area. Like it can get really bad. I agree. Traffic is the biggest risk. Angelo, we were just talking about you like, I don't know, like 10 minutes ago, and your amazing like skills when it comes to internet connection and all of those things. So I was just showing off the guys, the router that I've got. So yeah, once again, thank you, man. I really appreciate your help. Yeah, absolutely. It's different in the West. Like marriage is different in the West. Anyway, let me jump back to a few things. So another one regarding the environment is floods, especially in the south. Flooding rivers and all those things, that's a real threat, especially during the monsoon season. That can be a really like serious threat if you're a traveler or if you live at that part of China right now. So this like wet season can be a bit tricky. Oh, since Angelo is here and he is not too far from me, let me jump into my street food, because I do have some legit Chinese street food and it's still warm. So it means it's going to be okay to eat. So tonight, I have some kolomien, which is basically fried noodles. So it's like on charcoal fire, they fry it. They put some spices on it, sweet and sour. So like sugar and vinegar together. And it's really nice. Like this one actually made an appearance in one of my videos in the past. And this is like my favorite street food in China. So if you ever come to the northeast, you should try this kind of kolomian. Not the one with the eggs and the sweet sausage and all of that. I don't really like that. It's okay, I can eat it, but this is definitely my favorite. So yeah, that is the food of the day. So let me just have a bite of this and test it if it's poisoned or not. Nope, it's not poison. It's awesome. All right, let me put this to the side. I'm gonna finish it after the stream. So another comment from Heidi says, you have a shitty pollution day when the air quality meter goes to 999. Absolutely, but now there is a new law. Well, this has been around for quite some time now, actually. But in the Chinese apps, like mine on my Huawei, this one can't go over 500, and they are not allowed to go over 500. They're not allowed to show numbers over 500. So if you want to see like real data when you're in China, you might want to jump over to a foreign website and see the numbers there, because they only do it up to 500, and sometimes it tops out at 500. Okay, so that's the comment there. You're gonna buy one for Guela for his 60th birthday? I don't know what to buy for him. I was thinking about this. So I'm thinking about sending him money and, writing, a message like, a beer on me or something like that. But yeah, maybe I'll make him a video, a little short video. Maybe he will appreciate that one. I don't know. I haven't heard anything from him. I haven't heard anything from the guys that were supposed to like bridge this gap between me and Guilao. So, maybe I'll make a video for him, something or anything. I don't know. Give me some ideas in the comment section, what to do for Guilao. But be nice, okay? I don't want to get into the drama parts ever again. And I've voiced this many times in my videos before. I don't want any drama, like zero drama. And yeah. Colombian is legit. You can get it for like 6 RMB here. And dude, this one is like 8. It's more expensive. I should probably just drive down there to get like the 6 yuan Colombian. Like it's 8 RMB here. How much is the Qingdao beer down at your place? Because I paid 5.5 for this Qingdao. I want to know if it's cheaper down there at your place or if it's more expensive, or it's the same price. All right. A few more like tips and ideas how you can stay safe in China if you're traveling. So obviously today we talked about, many like safety aspects in China. So we talked about the environment, we talked about traffic, we talked about, the tea houses and all of these things. So, safety in China has many like aspects and many areas that you can talk about. So, I just want to take a little bit from each and every one and give you guys, a basic understanding of it. So, tips for staying safe in China, for example, keep your valuables safe and, just basics, basically, like common sense. For example, if you have like 10,000 RMB with you, don't keep it in your front, like, pocket, like up here, because that you wouldn't do it at home. So why do you want to do it here? Obviously the traffic one. So be careful when you're crossing the road. Even if the light is green, like you still need to pay, a lot of attention, because it can get hectic. Another one, if you're just a tourist and you're staying in a hotel, it might be a good idea to write down your address, the hotel's address where you're staying, And if you need to get a taxi or something like that, or if you get lost, then you can ask for directions with that, or you can just type it into your phone and the Translate app and all those things, or into the maps, and it should show up where to go. Another one, which is actually not very common in China, like protests and demonstrations. That's not something that is very common in China, but obviously stay out of it because you are a foreigner. So as soon as you join a protest or a demonstration, then all eyes are going to be on you, and you don't want that. So even though that there are not many of those, just keep out of it. Don't get involved. It's not worth it. All right. Another one that I would like to mention is drinking the water in China. Now, that is something that people talked about before in the past, and I want to touch on it as well because it is very important. So, in some cities, it is okay to drink the tap water, but in about 90% of China, it's not okay to drink the tap water. So there are different ways how you can, make it clean and okay to drink it. Obviously, you can use these purifying tablets and machines as well. But drinking straight out of a tap is not recommended for anyone because you can get sick. Not immediately. So the water is still okay to have a shower in, brush your teeth, wash your face, and all of those things. But to drink a large amount of water from the tap is not okay. There are different things in it that you don't want to put into your body. So yeah, I know some people, they just boil the water and they wait for it to cool down to room temperature, then drink it. I'm not a huge fan of that. So yeah, for cooking, it might be okay. Most of the time, I actually use bottled water if I want to cook something. Like if I want to cook noodles or pasta or anything like that, I actually just have water for that. I take it from the bottle and use the bottled water for it. So yeah, obviously you can get mineral water, which is not great for cooking. So don't use that for cooking. You can just get normal water with no added vitamins and minerals and all of that. Just plain simple water. You can get that and you can use it for cooking. Then that it's totally safe. All right, a question about car insurance in China. So going back to driving in China, what's car insurance like there? So I am paying 1,200 a year, and I am driving a 2-liter turbocharged SUV. So it's not too expensive, and I'm close to 28. So I don't think that's very expensive, especially if I compare it to England. Jesus. I would pay 1,200 RMB for a month in England, especially right now, because, I'm still in my 20s and it's basically a high risk group that 20-something boys, they cause more accidents. But obviously this is bullshit. And, there is no real data showing that that's the truth. If anything, old people cause more accidents in England. And yeah, they always like to use this term called boy racers, which refers to the younger generation, my generation from the 18 to 29, that we are boy racers and we just want to, thrash our car and, just race around on the streets. But obviously that's not true. If you want to race, there is a racetrack. There are plenty of racetracks in England that you can go to and race your car or motorbike or whatever. So street racing in England is not very popular anymore. And, there are various reasons for it. But to answer your question, it is cheap. Car insurance is cheap in China. And, like I said, I pay about 1,200 RMB a year for my car insurance. And That's just third party only, I think. So I think it's just the most basic one. So obviously there are different levels. The most expensive one was like 6,000 RMB a year, which is still not, you know, a ridiculous amount. It's actually still like very cheap, and that's like an all-inclusive one. But because I believe in my own driving skills, I think that the basic one is good enough for me. So you know, I'm not a boy racer. I mean, I've raced go-karts and other things as well, but you know, I know my limits. So, you know, I'm not gonna do 150 in a 40 zone, for example, because I'm not, you know, I'm not stupid. I still have a brain. So, you know, common sense. Plus, it's China, so you know, traffic is different here. Like, you know, I don't want to risk anything in a foreign country when, you know, I'm driving, because I'm always going to be the foreigner. So yeah, it depends on the person rather than age group. Well, in China, definitely. But in England, it's all about the age and the gender as well. Like if you're a girl, if you're an 18-year-old girl, you can get a car insurance for £5,000 for a year. If you are a boy, an 18-year-old boy, and you want to get a car insurance, it can go up to like, you know, 8 or 9,000 a year, which is ridiculous. Like, you know, it's almost double just because you have a set of balls and a dick. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous in England. Like, those prices are way out of, like, way out of line. Like, it shouldn't be that much. So yeah. But then you have, you know, the 80-year-old, like, you know, veterans, and they pay like, you know, £100 a year for their car insurance for their 25-year-old Volvo. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous that you know, the difference is that big. All right then, guys, let me plug myself on my own channel, actually. So if you're watching on Facebook, welcome. Obviously, feel free to jump on over to my YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, all of those things. You know, everyone is welcome to my channel. All the questions are welcome, and I'm very happy to answer and interact with you guys. Yeah. Also, if you would like to support the channel, you can do it here through WeChat, or there is a Patreon or a PayPal link in the description. Feel free to do it. I'm not asking you to do it. It's just an option for you if you want to support the channel. It helps me out, and all the money that I get, I basically put it back into the channel. You know, if you don't donate, that's fine. I'm still going to make videos, and I'm still going to do a live stream. But if you feel like, you know, my work is worthy of your hard-earned money, then feel free to throw it away my way. I can definitely use it. Anyway, you know, we are reaching the last, like, you know, 10 minutes of the live stream. So it's going to be like a live call-in feature. So if anyone's out there that wants to jump on to the stream, let me know in the comment section. I can send you the link. Actually, I'm going to send you the link right now in here. You can join in. This is on StreamYard. So you click on the link. You're going to come up here. You need the camera and the microphone. I can pull you up onto the stream. We can have a little talk, and, you know, feel free to ask any questions. Obviously, try to keep it civilized. I'm going to send a message to Bill as well. China Bill. Maybe he wants to jump on as well. Let's have a look. Anyone else? But yeah, like I said, we still have quite a few people watching. So, you know, feel free to jump on. Come on over to StreamYard. I can pull you into the stream. You know, we can have a discussion. Feel free to do it. Also, if we're not going to get anyone, I'm going to cut the stream within like 5 minutes, because, you know, I have, you know, a few other things to do as well. And I'm planning to keep these streams between an hour and 30 minutes. Excuse me. because I was doing like 2.5 hour ones before, and you know, it can get tiring a little bit. I mean, obviously, if there are people to talk to and things to talk about, then yeah, sure. But yeah, it can get a little bit tiring, and you know, I'm trying to reduce the amount of time that I spend on YouTube and making videos. That's why I have this new schedule where you know, on Tuesdays and Saturdays you're going to see an actual new video, and on Wednesdays and Sundays you're going to see a live stream, so you can interact with me in real time, and we can talk about things. All right then. Okie dokie. By the looks of it, not a lot of people want to show their faces on the live stream, but that's okay. We don't mind that. Yeah, it's basically just an option for you guys if you want to show yourselves on the stream. Obviously, you don't have to. It's just an option, but everyone is welcome. So yeah. Anyway, by the looks of it, we don't really have anyone that wants to join. So I think I'm going to cut this stream right here, about the hour mark. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching tonight's live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about, you know, safety in China, and is China really safe? Obviously, I gave you some tips as well, you know, what to do, what not to do in China, and how to look after yourself, and safety tips, basically. So yeah, if you like this live stream, you know, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on this live video, leave a comment on my other videos as well. You know, feel free to interact with me however you want. I will try to answer your question. And yeah, that is about it for today. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you on Sunday.